I have a Honda Civic with a 1.7 liter engine, and we have the code P0700 and also P0741. They all have to do or are related with the transmission. I'm gonna test the shift solenoid for the torque converter. Also, I'm gonna be testing the wires to determine if the problem is either the shift solenoid, the wires, or either the transmission. Alright, I'm gonna scan the vehicle here and see what we can find here. As you can see, we have P0700, which is for the transmission, but this is like a generic code. Now I'm gonna scan the transmission here to see what I can find. Alright, and we have here P0741, torque converter clutch solenoid, stuck off. We're gonna see what's going on. We're gonna inspect this solenoid, shift solenoid, and also we're gonna test it. So let's go ahead and do it. And this shift solenoid is located under these two hoses here, under the thermostat. It's bolted with a 10mm bolt, so I have a small ratchet here to take it out. Now, to have a better access, it's better to take out the battery. If you don't take the battery, then you have some more difficulties. Alright, I took out the shift solenoid. This one is for the torque converter, as you can see here. And this is the hole where it's located, as you can see it. And this is the hole for the 10mm bolt. I also took out the battery, as you can see here, because it's much better to have access without the battery here. Alright, I better close here with the camera. As you can see it, I'm gonna be testing it. Also the electrical connector, also the resistance of this shift solenoid. Forgot to mention that I came to help a friend of mine here and testing this electrical connector with whatever I found here. Some clips, very thin clips. So I'm not carrying my equipment at this moment, so I'm testing this with whatever I found here. The right way to test these components, these wires, is probing them by the rear of the connector and not from the front. Alright, and I'm getting 12 volts here on the electrical connectors, so there is no problem with the wires. And if you put the connector in this position like this, the one on the left hand side is the positive in this case, and this is pin number 2, by the way. So everything is good here, but as you can see, testing it a few times, and someone is opening the ignition switch inside the vehicle. This is how you test it. You will see the 12 volts only for not even for 1 second, then it goes away. The 12 volts come and it goes away as soon as it comes. And that is because the shift solenoids get 12 volts only when the PCM commands them to work, when it commands them to actuate. Other than that, they don't have 12 volts. Now I'm gonna check the resistance of this shift solenoid, and if I get between 12 and 25 ohms, then that part is fine, but there is another test to do. And we have 16 ohms here, so this shift solenoid is fine until right now, because we have another test to do. Let's do it again. And you see 16 ohms again, so this shift solenoid has passed this test. And let's do it one more time. And 16 ohms again, so this part is good with this shift solenoid. Let's go to the next step. Alright, I'm gonna connect my Power Pro here and the battery and make sure the connections are very tight, so the results don't lie. This is very tight here, positive and negative here, as you can see, very tight. This is my Power Pro here, as you can see, and this one has a ground too, a wire for the ground, so it has both. Alright, see, this is the shift solenoid connector, and this pin on the right hand side is the positive, as you can see here, and this one on the left hand side is negative. I'm gonna apply here ground on the left hand side, as you can see, and I'm gonna be applying 12 volts here on the other pin, on pin number 2, which is positive, and see if it makes an operation sound. Nice, this shift solenoid is good, so probably the problem is in the transmission. Alright, this is the Honda software, and this is the shift solenoid that I just tested. Torque converter clutch solenoid valve, and this shift solenoid is good according to Honda. It passed the test with a 12 volt battery and also with the resistance, or checking the resistance. Also, you can see the location of some components here. If you need to know the location of some components, you can see pin number 1 and pin number 2. Pin number 2 is positive on the shift solenoid, and pin number 1 is negative. When you check the resistance, and if you get between 12 and 25 ohms, then the shift solenoid is passing the test. And the next test should be applying 12 volts to both terminals. When you're applying 12 volts and if you hear an operation sound or a clicking sound like Honda says, then the shift solenoid has passed that test too, and that shift solenoid should be fine according to Honda. Also, the owner of the vehicle says that it has a hard shifting sometimes and also has some delay to shift sometimes. And this is the 10mm bolt, the torque specification here. And when Honda says shift solenoid A and B, B means the O-rings, just in case if someone gets confused out there. As you guys already saw it, the shift solenoid is clicking when I apply 12 volts and also pass the test when I check the resistance. I also check the wires as you already saw it, and the wires are fine. As soon as we open the ignition switch, we get in 12 volts, we get in ground, and we get in power, so there is no problems in the wire either. The issues we having with this transmission is, or drivability issues, is that it has a hard shifting sometimes, also shifting delay sometimes. They recently replaced the transmission fluid, and this transmission, thinking that might help a little bit, but it didn't help at all. But the vehicle is drivable anywhere so far. Those are the only issues with the hard shifting and delay shifting sometimes. So I have determined that we have a bad transmission here. The only way to fix it will be replacing it with a good one or either rebuilding it. And if you think this video is helpful for you in any way, please consider to like, comment and subscribe. Thanks for watching and stay blessed.